Hello everyone, my name is Eric and this is the tutorial for level 6 of the URC. Alright, so we're going to use the IR photoreflector again for a different concept. So, in the last level we used it to stop in front of a door every time we got close to it. Now, this time, let's see what we have to do. So we want to collect all the potions and enter the portal at the end of the stage. So again, on the right side where it says IR photoreflector, this tab, you can click it and it'll show the distance something is away from it in front of it. And we want to use these operation blocks again. If you want a really in-depth tutorial, you can look at the last video, but for this video, we'll just go over it a little briefly. So again, these operation blocks return true or false statements, and we use these true or false statements to use if-then commands. So if a statement is true, then we run the code inside of it. And again, we also want to be using these forever blocks, where anything inside of it will run continuously forever. All right, so let's look at the map and see what we have. So in the bottom right, you can click switch view and get a top-down view. And as you can see on the top right as well in that map, we have to make several right turns and get to the portal at the end. So let us just move forward and see what we can do from there. So let's have M1 and M2 of a power of 100 going clockwise. Now, as you can see, the closer we're getting to the wall in front of us, the shorter the distance gets. Okay, so we're really close to it, so the distances went down to 0.2. So we want to turn right when the cart is about here. So let's just run the code. And you can pause the code by clicking the pause button. So when we're here, it's about 2 to 3 centimeters. So let's have our if statement. So we're going to say if we get close to the wall, we want to turn right. And to translate that from words to code, we're going to say if the distance, the photoreflector distance is less than, we're going to do 3.6 centimeters, then we want to turn. And we're going to turn to the right. In order to turn to the right, we need to have the left motor going clockwise, going forward, and the right motor needs to go counterclockwise. So we're going to say M1 goes counterclockwise, and M2 is going clockwise. If you ever need to remember, in the top right, it says the motor positions. The left is M2, the right is M1. Okay, so we're going to run this and see what happens. So we expect it to turn when we get to 3.6. However, you can see that after we reached 3.6, we still didn't turn. That's because this line of code runs at the very beginning of our start program. We want to be we want it to be checking continuously. And to do that, we have the forever block. So if you do this, then as the code runs continuously, it's going to keep checking this if-then statement. So now, if we do this, when it hits 3.6, now it starts turning. Okay. So, as you can see, if we're using 100 power and we get to the turn, the robot has what we call inertia. So when something's moving and you try to turn it, it's going to keep moving forward just a little bit. So in order to reduce that, we're going to make our robot go just a little slower. So that way, when we get to our turn, it's a little more smooth. So as it gets to 3.6, it starts turning. And it turns continuously because we have this forever block until the distance isn't 50 anymore. So how long do we want to turn for? So let's experiment. Let's try turning for 2.8 seconds. And then after we're turning, we want to go straight again. So in order to go straight, we're going to have our motors both be going clockwise. Okay, and let's run this code. As you can see, our robot's moving forward, and when it hits less than 3.6 centimeters, it turns. It's going to wait for 2.8 seconds and then go straight. Now, this is forever running as the program is running. It's continuously checking this if statement. And remember, if this statement is false, nothing inside of it runs. So every time it gets to a wall, it's turning right just as we wanted it to. Turns right. And we have one more right turn coming up. See if it works. All right. Portal's right there, and it looks like we just about completed the level. All right. So again, I strongly suggest experimenting with these forever blocks and the if blocks and seeing where the robot is in conjunction with what the code is saying. And this concludes the tutorial for level 6. I'll see you guys in the next level.